Okay, five. Testing. It'll be put up on YouTube. Yep. So we'll just wait a minute to make sure technology's working. Last time it was cut off. We think it was due to a Wi-Fi issue, so we have the computer plugged into the Ethernet cable. Just for all those listening. Okay. Okay, I'd like to call the meeting of the Board of Estimate and Apportionment to order. Today's date is Tuesday, July 7th, 2026 at 4 p.m. Attendance today, we have myself, Sam Fine, we have Joel Stetson, the financial manager, who's here representing May. We'll talk about those clears. We have Darius Sean, City Treasurer, Brian Jimenez representing Kelly Kimbrough, the Common Council President, and then Megan Keegan, Common Council Finance Chair. Okay, on to the agenda. First item, budget. These are all budget transfers for 2026. Department of Budget, there is a transfer from APD top line insurance for $375,300 and fire insurance for $375,200, and that's all going, all $750,000 is going to special items insurance. And this is GL structures and budgets updated before procedures updated. All insurance payments still currently made using special items. Next, we have from the police department, $5,000 from CIU under equipment to supplies and materials. This request is in anticipation to cover costs of electronics through the remainder of the year. Another transfer from the police department from APD Tech Contracted Services, $287,667. That is going to various accounts. And these transfers are needed to place the grant funds currently requested into the proper GL lines for equipment purchases. And then we have a transfer from General Services, from Contracted Services for $40,000 to Contracted Services for $40,000. That's transfers needed to cover the cost of golf cart leases for the 2026 season. I'll note, while these accounts are both Contracted Services, they do both have different budget items. So, Joel, can you?
Yeah,
one of those accounts actually, these are under separate categories.
Yeah, the whole DPS departments, I can get you that information right now.
And are there any questions while Joel's getting that information?
Okay, so that first account. That is Public Works Park Maintenance. And 103.
103 is Public Works.
103 is capital hills. Oh, so 102 is park maintenance, 103 is capital hills.
Do you know if they are planning to help parks out capital hills in the next budget? Because that is, I mean, how they structure the actual budget that's presented, because historically,
Those conversations, yeah.
okay, because historically, capital hills has sort of lived inside public works, and it's kind of
Yes.
parks out.
So with the new account structures, it does still technically live under Public Works. It's just instead of having it be, what was it, 1492.3600,
Yeah.
now it is 15126, and the 103 is the subunit.
I think
I can spell out, I don't.
yeah, I think it's helpful for the public too, because they see the revenue coming in. but they don't see the expenditures going on to the golf course
Yes.
because they, again, live in public works instead of the golf course being its own.
Yeah, when we get to that part of the process, one of the main benefits of the system is I'll share the file, not the file, the naming convention for each account, and each account does have a equivalent expense line for each item. So when we build 2027 entirely new system, you can see each dollar in, each dollar out.
I mean, it lives that way in a lot of department budgets because you just get general,
Yeah.
however much money we're just spending on contracted services and not specifically what it's about. But anyway, I do have questions about the insurance line. Do you know why we're finding that under one roof?
So the original process in the old system, everything came out of special items, and the treasury would journal the amounts due to each department. So they would, everything comes out of special items, then they would do a corrected journal saying actually X amount needs to come out of fire, X amount needs to come out of police, youth and workforce, water. And I wasn't heading up this initiative, but it looks like this year's budget structure was trying to preempt having the amounts split by department at the beginning, and then all of the payments are still coming out of special items. So special items is currently in the red 6 figures, and the journal entries are being made to these new accounts, but the payments aren't coming out. So it's just an enormous step to put the money back in special items, and only pay the bill to have it journal back to the accounts that the money is currently sitting in.
Follow up on that, is there a new way we're gonna do this next year's budget? Was this the long-term solution?
They may have to under one policy, is that the issue?
I believe so. That is, like I said, this was a coming across a line that was in the negative 6 figures, trying to figure out why, and that is my best guess at this time. And this is just so we can pay the bill, because I know we're
Is there a way to differentiate that by department and then have revenue coming in from that department to that specialty line item where it lives? That might be the easier way to do it, so you don't have to keep moving money around.
Yeah,
But
that's,
it's still allocated to total department costs.
yeah, we're gonna be reviewing this in the coming weeks.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. It's just like coming across an old process and just a headache that we should have seen coming, but
Do you understand what I'm saying? You can charge the department and have the revenue associated with that line item into wherever the specialty line item is, that will also be sellers and admin services.
Or can you, if, let's say it's all on the same policy, it sounds like it's on the same policy, so it's one bill for fire insurance, police insurance, you could have certain amounts come out of different lines on that same.
correct.
Same voucher.
I guess I need to follow up probably with the treasury, because I know there are 2 charges out of different funds, and I don't know if that's splitting payment by fund in a single voucher, because I don't think it happens to.
I guess I have sort of the same or similar question about the APD contracting services. I think I understand what we're going to do is at least do a split amongst some of the grant categories, so we're going to be able to track the
So
use of those grant funds.
with this one, it was, we have grants we received. The initial submission was an appropriation increase because that was an older process that used to be how the city operated, where we would budget nothing for grants, and then as funds were awarded, we would then do an appropriation. For 2026, we budgeted the revenues we were expecting to receive. So we've already marked that money as coming in. So I know that somewhere in AB's budget, the money that is supposed to be going out for these grants is already in there, it's already accounted for.
Okay.
So it was my impression that there is some time sensitivity to this, so I suggested we transfer the funds needed out of a line that had more than adequate funds to cover the 3 grants that have transactions on the way.
Okay.
If that leaves a hole in the line that I move those funds from, that'll be future conversations, but also if I misunderstood, I know AB's grant structures are very complex. So I will always say, I am aware that I sometimes can misunderstand things as well. But for the time being, I just didn't want to be a roadblock for purchases that we have.
Was there not money in that line, that grant line in the budget? Was there a revenue line?
So the revenue line shows 884,000 as the budget amount to be received for 2026. And these grant lines, I believe, had zero balances. And I went digging for that because there's an extra step of obscurity with everything this year because we built 26's budget in New World and then migrated everything into Tyler ERP. So Tyler ERP doesn't show all the information, so I had to cross-reference the accounts. And I found plenty of documentation showing numbers that matched what was requested, but the revenue's already booked. So that's why I elected to do a transfer. And I can share this information as well.
Yeah, I know it was complex because there was a lot of back and forth emails figuring out exactly how to be structured. Yeah, I don't have any other questions. Does anyone else?
I'll make a motion to move the agenda.
Motion to get a second.
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Passing unanimous. We have a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All in favor? Aye. Meeting is adjourned.